Hi, how are you doing today?
Terrible. America is turning into a socialist dictatorship.
No, I don't think so. If you compare the two extremes of the political spectrum, going from a total economic free-for-all on the right to pure collectivism on the left, that puts America pretty far to the right.
No, it's socialism because we pay a lot of taxes and waste most of it on programs for lazy women with lots of kids.
Actually, the taxes keep getting lowered. Every few years it goes down, it never goes up. The program you are referring to is actually a very small fraction of a percent of the budget. Cutting that isn't going to do much.
They need to cut other programs too, so we can balance the budget.
Well, they could cut a lot from the defense budget.
No. You can't cut anything from defense.
Then you don't want to cut the budget. If we eliminate Social Security and Medicare, that would also eliminate the payroll tax. So then you are back to square one. The only big chunk after that is defense. Cutting other things won't shrink the deficit much. They could always eliminate the Bush tax cuts for the top 2%.
No. If rich people pay less taxes, they will provide more jobs. Raising their taxes will make them eliminate jobs.
What the hell are you talking about? That does not make any sense. The entire argument for giving out those tax cuts in the first place was that we had a surplus. So they said, if there is a surplus, they took too much, and they need to give it back. We don't have a surplus now. We have a deficit. Taxes are not going to have anything to do with jobs. Jobs are created when business expands. As they expand their operation, they have to hire, so that they have the needed labor to serve the growing market. The only thing that makes a business expand is customers buying things from them. A company is not going to create unneeded jobs, just for shits and giggles, because they have extra capital from a tax cut. They will just find an investment for that money. Besides that, we are talking about individual taxes, not corporate. But I digress. The economy runs on people buying goods and services. Even businesses that serve other companies are ultimately dependent on the end consumer. There are two things required for a customer to buy something: a demand and capital. Demand is not a problem. However, capital can be a problem. It is an increasingly larger problem, the poorer someone is. So if we weight the tax system to the bottom end, you have more capital in the hands of people who have previously unmet demand, due to their prior lack of capital. All these increased sales cause businesses to expand. Expanding then makes it necessary to hire more labor to meet this new demand. This further adds to the buying power of the consumer base. The increased demand for labor will increase wages. It will also make certain kinds of labor more scarce. More demand and less supply means the cost of labor goes up. In other words, you make more money. The current system of weighting everything to the top just causes speculative investment, which brings about boom and bust economic cycles. That is very bad for economic stability. It also leaches capital away from the consumer base, causing stagnation in business.
Well, Obamacare is a socialist government takeover.
But the government isn't taking over healthcare. It's not even going to provide insurance. It mostly just has to do with making medical insurance more available and affordable. All the people who go to the emergency room and can pay are making medical costs rise rapidly. We need a better way to pay for that. Maybe something like Medicare, where everyone pays in a certain amount to cover the costs. It's cheaper to keep the poor healthy with preventative care than it is to treat catastrophic problems in the emergency room as they happen.
We should not be paying for anyone to have medical care. Everyone needs to take personal responsibility and pay for themselves.
Well, not everyone can pay. So we end up with two choices. The first option is to pay for it in some way, like with some kind of a program, or just letting unpaid medical care keep driving up the cost, which is the way we pay for it now. The second option is to just let people die where they drop. I really don't think there is another option. Either they get care or they don't. If you think that is a false dichotomy, by all means, tell me another option.
Well, but socialism, communism, fascism, Nazi, government takeover, death panels, birth certificate, long form, acorn, Soros Chides Foundation, NPR, liberal nanny state, Lafra Bill heirs, Muslim Kenya, Nazi, 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 Nazi.
Alrighty then. Whatever.